All right, let's, welcome to the Wareham Board of Selectmen's meeting for December 17, 2019. Sorry we're a little late, but, conversation gets carried away. All right, could I have a roll call, please?
Selectmen Manise, Bruce, Titlebaum, Tropiano present, as well as town council and town
And
administrator.
Alan's on vacation.
Yep.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Alright.
I'll do it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. All right. Announcements. Anybody? Any announcements?
I have none.
Okay.
Christmas is next week.
There you go. That's a good one. Citizens' comments. Let's see. Is there any citizen? No, there's nobody out there. Okay. Board comments. Anybody got board comments? Jim?
I'll take care of it in the,
Okay. What are you taking, Alan's place?
I'm just trying to get set up here. I'm all set for right
All
now.
right.
I'll
Anybody
tackle
else?
it later.
Board comments? No? Okay, moving on. There's no appointments tonight. We're going on to licensing and permits, please. Now, we have a bunch of licenses, a lot of them, the year end. Tonight's our big night for licensing.
Okay, I move that we approve the all alcoholic beverage license for the year 2020. Year-round retail package stores, as printed in the
Section A, right? Section A of the
Section
agenda.
A of the agenda.
Good. Motion made by Mary, seconded by Peter. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous. Next.
I move that we approve the renewal of the following year-round common vic all alcoholic beverage licenses for the year 2020 as printed in Section B in the agenda, with the exception of Barnacle Bills, who's not renewing.
Okay. Okay, motion made by Mary, seconded by Peter. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous. Thank you.
I move that we approve the renewal of the following year-round common vic wine and malt beverage licenses for the year 2020 as printed in Section C of the
Motion made
agenda.
by Mary, seconded by Peter. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous.
I move,
400.
sorry.
Go ahead.
I move that we approve the renewal of the following year-round club all alcoholic beverage licenses for the year 2020 as printed in Section D of the
Motion
agenda.
made by
Second.
Mary, seconded by Peter. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous.
I move that we approve the renewal of the following year-round Veterans Club all alcoholic beverage licenses for the year 2020 as printed in Section E of the agenda.
Motion made by Mary, seconded by Peter. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, abstaining, unanimous, 400. Next up, town business. Chapter 61A, lane conversion, map 105, lot 1002. I did get a lot of mail from the various boards who have signed off on it. So, is anybody, go ahead, Jim.
I have a few questions on that.
Sure.
When the boards that we will refer the 61As to are going to have that on their agenda, should they put that on their agenda that it'll be a point of discussion through you to our attorney would be good, I think.
With your permission, Mr. Chairman. If they're going to take it up at a meeting, yeah, it'd be a real good idea.
I don't believe that happened on some
Yeah,
of the
good
boards.
idea.
So, and also on our posting, it's talking about one parcel. It just mentions the one, was it one,
Map 105, lot
1002?
1002.
But I believe it's 1002C, 2D, F, C2, or portions thereof. Because I don't believe the one parcel, I mean, we could look at it, what equals the 16 acres. I might be mistaken on that part.
Yeah, it's just what,
What do we have in the file? Do we have the request in the file?
Yeah, we do. Could I have the request, please?
with your permission, Mr. Chairman, we have a letter from the applicant's counsel,
Yeah.
and the request as stated from the applicant. I'll just read it. The property in question is located on Charlotte Furnace Road and is a portion of Assessor's Map 105, Lot 1002. And then it goes on to give the more specifics, 1002C, D, and so forth.
Correct.
This is one of these things where, since the lot 1002 subsumes all those lesser parcels, you'd say that the notice was
So
good.
they do subsume it, because I
Yeah.
thought 1002 was up in the northeast lot by itself. But I might have been mistaken there.
No, it's 02, it's 1002
on the
through
map.
F, so.
Yeah, it looks like they filed a subdivision, well, not a subdivision, but they did an approval not required division, I should say.
That's right here.
You gotta be careful not to conflate those terms.
And I'm
as
just
we know.
reading off Attorney Madeira's correspondence to you.
It's included in the plan.
Why don't we look
There's-
and match it up to the letter, just.
It's 102D, F, see it right there? C, E, it's all these
You have a
parcels together.
1002?
Yes, 1002, 1002D, F, C, E, and I'm forgetting what this one, I can't read this one, but it's the
notice-
same one.
Our notice says just 1002,
Yeah, but
correct?
like he said, it's
I mean, that's all right,
cumulative, so.
and I did take the time and look
Yeah.
at some of the other committees' agendas. Wasn't on their agenda
Yeah, it's
to mention that they were even gonna take a vote, never mind what it was about.
Well, I don't think I don't think they usually vote on these.
No, they're supposed to though, because the
Well, how can
board
they
is the one
recommend
being
if they're not
requested.
gonna?
Yeah, with your permission, Mr. Chairman,
go
your-
ahead. I'm
your,
not
your,
sure that they
your
did.
policy, and again, we're not dealing with a state law here, but your policy was that when somebody asks to have something taken out of chapter land, the request would be circulated.
Correct.
Just in case there was a board or commission that thought it might be useful for the town to exercise its option to purchase.
Yeah, but I
So-
think we've gotten them through the chair in the past, not
Yeah,
through a
but-
vote.
But you know, the chair has no more power in a matter like this than the board gives that chairman. So there should be a vote by these boards, and it should be on agendas. So,
Then it's gonna have to wait.
More open meeting training.
No, what I would think, actually, I don't know, you would just have them cure it.
Will pass automatically anyway, because
What?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I don't see why it would wait. What we really care about is if they did want to exercise their right.
Yeah, which they
right, in
don't.
which case they wouldn't have a vote to substantiate it.
That's the biggest matter for me, is if they want it, that's what we care about. If they don't want it,
Right, but you wanna see that it's been put on the agenda.
Well, I think they
There's
need
gonna be
to-
a moment for discussion, and that, a vote whether to show interest or not to show interest, and if it says no, but the vote, the vote's taken, they know that it's coming, they've been given the information, they've discussed it.
so I think,
This is
and I
gonna be a
understand.
problem, because I think this needs to be done tonight.
Well, I think, so here's the way I look at it.
It's not done,
Where-
then we don't exercise, then we give up our right.
No, we have
We're
a
gonna
hundred,
refuse
we have
anyway,
a
so we don't
hundred,
lose
Give up
anything.
our right to refuse.
Right, it's gonna be automatic anyway.
no, we have 120 days. They didn't send it till December 5th.
I can-
We have 120 days from that point in time to exercise our
Is
right.
it 120? I don't think so.
120.
Is it? Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
if I may, you've got 2 or 3 different issues here to unpack. One is just addressing the Chapter 61A request. And in terms of what's on the agenda and the reference to the parcel, it could have been more detailed than it was, but it's probably sufficient for the purposes of notifying the public that there'll be action on the 61A. In future, maybe I would definitely punch it up. As to the recommendations of the individual boards under your policy, there's no question in my mind that that should be on their agendas and they should vote on it. However, if some of them didn't do that properly, you're not bound by their inappropriate behavior or dilatory behavior or whatever you choose to call it. They were given an opportunity to deal with it and they didn't. What the law requires is that this board take the action, and really your policy which does not have the force of law. It's just a courtesy to those boards. So if you're inclined to act on this tonight, I think you could. I just think that I agree with the point that, it can't be done by, chairman in the corridor saying, well, we don't really want this. It should be on an agenda.
I think we'll have to redefine how we send it to the
Yeah,
boards.
and I think two of the boards are by statute, that being Planning and Conservation Commission, that they're required to send it to them also. And the other boards, even the
Well, everybody got it. so-
Redevelopment Authority received it to review, I believe, and that's,
It went on an agenda and it was voted.
right, no, I'm not saying it
No,
wasn't.
but I'm
just
saying that
saying,
that's
I
the
saw
usual
you were
process.
addressed.
But there's no requirement in the law for them to say anything.
No.
They could not answer us, they could just let it sit in their cabinet, they can do whatever they want.
This is a
Policy.
policy that one of your predecessor boards created.
Right. I remember, we did.
And frankly, policies are there for guidance,
I remember we did that.
so.
But they're there for
right,
guidance,
you're
but they're also there to make sure that nobody takes unilateral action, which is what Jim's complaining about, which is if a chairman just says, yeah, we don't want that, on a 5-person board, 3 people should be saying that, not 1.
Oh, yeah, but Mr. Chairman, they're not violating your policy. They're violating the open meeting law by not taking proper votes.
Well, either way, it's not a good thing.
No, I agree.
So,
Rather that we yelled at them than that the state cracked them for an open meeting law violation.
Okay, the point is that we really should act on this tonight, because they've asked and wanted this to get done.
I think
I don't
if
have a
I,
problem voting on it, but I think we should, along with this, we should also authorize Attorney Bowen to review what we receive for correspondence and to let the recalcitrant boards
Great.
know that they should be taking votes and noticing these on agendas.
I mean, I received it, like Monday or something, when the boards received it. I didn't see anything beforehand. I got it in like a back letter, an email.
I
just-
thought Cassie sent it out to everybody.
Yeah, to the
What?
boards, and we were tagged in the board.
Sent out what?
The notice.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, 'cause I think the redevelopment authority voted on it maybe in November even.
Yeah.
I didn't get an,
That or the 3rd, but we did it
yeah.
a little while
So
back.
it's,
December 5th, Ken and Sandra Slavin, Bob Gleason, this would have been
on the 5th, yeah.
this would be planning and community
It
development.
may have come out before, and I looked at it and forgot about it. And I have like one other question.
And this, also, we got the one from, what do you call it? Bob Gleason from Wareham Land Trust on the 5th as well.
Well, they don't have to meet. We don't care about them. Policy doesn't make them meet.
It is in the policy, I think. But a couple other quick questions. Have we already kind of looked at the value of the land being converted and what its after value, or what the value would be for any group having interest in it? And what's the rollback tax impact for the town on that property? Just informational purposes. I mean, those are kind of nice things to know.
Yeah, you got a couple years back from it, so.
Was it 5 or?
It's
I
like,
thought it was 5 years.
yeah, I think it's 5.
So do we know the impact, do we know the value of the properties after being converted?
No, usually if somebody expresses an interest, we'd
Right.
start looking at the value
But I'm just.
of the
it-
property.
Yeah.
But we can ask them,
I think
usually
for
they give
us-
us, yeah.
And for the boards that we send notice to, if we could give them some sort of a ballpark figure of what values are, I don't think we'd be doing, I know it's required of us to do the assessment, and if there's a disagreement, then you'd have a second assessment. But in order to make a decision, I think, for someone to make a value decision, you'd have to kind of know what we're looking at in value and what the property is.
But why? What's the purpose of that? To know
Well,
what
I
the
mean,
value is.
is it economically feasible to do so?
It
Or
does-
is it, I mean, is it something that if it's X amount of dollars, you could do it, but if it's 2X, it's just, you
Well, but
don't,
why would we ever want to buy land back or take land and take it back
You don't
for
know.
first right of first refusal?
You know,
Because
I-
typically, if they're offering us the right of first refusal, they have something already in the works,
They
whatever it
already-
is. And whatever that value is, I don't know what it could be, but I'm assuming that it's worth more than just the raw land. And
Correct.
it's a tax issue for us. Why would
I'm
we
kinda
ever
just
take the
asking
land?
Nope, I see what he's saying.
what
I
that
think,
value is.
What is
and
he trying to say? I'm not getting it.
well, I think
don't- but I don't
he's
understand
thinking,
why you wouldn't.
he's thinking that if, for example, conservation thought it was a good idea and maybe you'd want us to use CPC money to buy it or something like that, then having that information, might guide them in whether they would want to say, hey, yeah, we might be interested in this, we want to get together, talk with you guys, talk about CPC. So I sort of get what he's saying, but I don't want, these 99% of these happen without further ado, so I don't want to throw that work on them. I think the process needs to be, if conservation is interested, then they make the inquiry, then
I
we
thi-
figure out what the calculus is and go from there.
I think
But I
that's
don't
the way
think
it
it's
should be.
unless you hire a private assessing firm to do it, you can get a reasonable ballpark probably from what the land would be assessed at full value from our own assessors.
They're usually,
And that's what I'm saying. It would be nice to kind of have this information, but that's just me, because that's how my mind works. I'm just not like, yeah, okay, good.
Well, myself, I don't think it's a very rare occasion that I think we should ever take a 61A out of 61A and buy it for any reason. It doesn't make sense. Unless it's some piece of wetland or something that we want to preserve, it doesn't make any sense. Let it go back on the
Why would you
tax
wanna
roll.
buy it?
Police station, public safety,
Exactly.
it's got a, yeah, big ticket thing.
You know what I mean? Let it get,
Can't do anything
let's
with
get the money. Go ahead.
Not now.
Council has something.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I've been involved in, not with Wareham, but with a number of communities with a few dozen 61A purchase situations. And typically, the way they unfold is that when the letter comes in announcing their intention to convert the property, it does get circulated to all the different boards in a town. And if it turns out that somebody says, aha, this would be a great piece of property for, a public safety complex or whatever, a new ball field, usually at that point, you start bringing in people like appraisers, once that there's a sense of some public desire to own the property, maybe it's something unique. So, because there's a big issue that you have to deal with, which is where you're going to get the money if you're going to buy it. And the statute gives you 120 days to act. And so unless the letter comes in at a very fortuitous time of the
Before
year.
town meeting,
Yeah,
Special town meeting.
yeah,
Here we go.
yeah, well, exactly. Unless it comes in sequence with your regular town meeting schedule and when the warrants close and all that kind of thing, you better really want it because you're going to have to call a special town meeting to get the money to buy it.
And we have bought one in the past.
Yeah, have we?
The 61A. I can
trying to remember.
us actually doing that.
Yeah.
Because it was connected to some other piece of property that either the land trust or somebody owned, if I remember right, and it made sense to do. But by and large, in my opinion, these things are better off to go on the tax rolls.
I kind of agree with that on this. I'm trying to make a point on the process.
I know, I get
and
your,
what we're
I get your
doing.
process,
But
I get
What
it.
would be nice to know too is what it brings back to the town in the rollback taxes. I think that's nice for people to know.
That's an assessor's calculation.
And
Yeah.
it's a calculation, I know, as you go forward, but I think it'll be a sizable chunk of change because they're valued very low.
yeah, just so, there's two separate things on here. When we value something, or sort of our internal, the appraisal, it's appraised at the full fair market value. Then the valuation adjustment is done. So I'm pulling this up, like lot 105, 1002A is appraised at 176,000, but it's valued at 1,100. So on that one, for example, if it's 176,000, we're looking at a little over $1,900 a year. So out of 5 years, it'd
5
be worth
years.
$9,000.
On each lot,
Yeah. So
whichever the size is and the value, so that's,
right. On this, the assessment before is $8, and now we've got
know that.
$2,000 per year coming forward.
Right.
So.
Well, I guess we know how to solve the problem. If we're curious, we can go look on the website.
So, but that's something we can put together if we
Yeah.
want to make that as part of it. If it makes it easier for everybody. No.
Okay.
I think it's good to know that.
Yeah.
We'll come up with a method to deal
Yeah,
with that better.
I would ask that we vote on this one, just, I'm guessing with businesses at year end, they're trying to do certain things for their tax purposes and stuff, so no harm, no
wanna make a
foul on
motion?
this one.
To not exercise our right as a 61A on this piece of property.
Okay, I make a motion to
Not exercise.
not exercise
60, on the 61A, yes, our rights.
our rights on the 61A project
Second.
conversion map.
Good enough.
Hallelujah.
Motion made by Mary, seconded by Peter. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining.
I'm gonna abstain on
Okay,
this.
so 301. 301. All right.
Heard back from Concom on this?
We had an email from them, so, from Sandy, actually. I have it in my phone someplace. I'll pull it out. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, was that CPC? Yeah. We got-
My letter to the board from the redevelopment authority referenced the vote, and I believe the quantum of vote as well.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think that's a good model going forward for people to stay in obeisance to the
Anybody
open
have any
meeting law.
48-hour business?
No, sir.
No.
God,
All
no.
right, town administrators report, please.
God, no.
This is really just given this time of year, everything that's going on. I wanted to thank the board for all they do for the town, for the employees.
Goodness.
Thank the other boards, committees, and elected officials, the employees especially for all the hard work they do, and the residents that support us. There's many that give far more than they can and give of themselves, and it's really what makes our government work. So I just want to let everybody know how appreciative all we are, and spend some time with your family and give someone you love a hug. So, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone.
Back at you.
Awesome. Okay. Liaison reports. Jim, you had something.
Let's see. Have Carver, Marion, Wareham Refuse Committee meeting tomorrow, 5 o'clock over in the Carver Town Hall, the basement meeting room. There's no liaison, but I did stop in at the charter review meeting last night, sat through it. They're making some great headway. They're a good group working together nicely. I think there's still one more opening on that. It's still unfilled. I think it's only one. And I want to say there are a number of openings on other committees. So if anybody's listening out there, take a look on the town website and give it some thought. We can always use some new blood here. And also, I did send that letter over to Carver that you gave us the authority to do for myself and Town Administrator Sullivan to meet with them. I dropped it off by hand, 5 copies, 6 actually, 1 for each of the selectmen and 1 for the town administrator. They meet tonight. Hopefully they'll take it up and get back to us. And, asked them really, to get in touch with us, and it would probably be in both our best interest to do so and think about continue operations in Rochester. And, not to really make a decision until we at least have an opportunity to talk. And I told them we took the vote at the December 3rd meeting. So wait to hear from them, and that's about it. Thank you.
Mary?
Nope.
Peter?
Nothing.
Okay, I just want to say one thing before we get to the end here. There were 2 kids from Upper Cape in a car accident this morning early. They were gone to Children's Hasbro. Their life-threatening injuries are involved. And I'm just asking everybody to pray for those 2 kids. They, these things are terrible things to happen around the school time, and kids from schools, and especially a school that we are so connected to here in the town. And I would appreciate it if everybody would pray for the 2 children, that they get through this and without too much grief, okay? Next, we have the consent agenda.
I I have two sets of minutes here. I wasn't at the other one, so I'm going to have Peter do that. So,
Okay.
I'd like to move that we approve the meeting minutes from November 5th and November 26th.
Motion made by Mary. Any discussion?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous. Peter was the second, by the way. All right, and Peter, you're gonna move the November 26th minutes, please?
Yep, so moved.
Motion made by Peter, seconded
Second.
by Jim. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous. Okay, Wareham, we will not be meeting again until after the first of the year. As you know, the two holidays fall on our meeting night. So we will have a little time off, and so will you from watching us. So, which, you know, sometimes like watching the grass grow anyway. But we want to thank you. We've had a great year. We appreciate all the support we get from everybody out there. I appreciate the fine words that the town administrator has given us. I hope that everybody has a terrific new year coming forward. And whatever you observe over the month of December, whether it's Hanukkah or Christmas or whatever, I hope you all have a great time. And please take care of your neighbors, and you guys have a great week. Thank you, thank you. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Jim, seconded by Peter. Any discussion? Never mind. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, it's unanimous. Thank you very much, Wareham. Take care.
Merry Christmas.
All right.